when the first same-sex couples should have been getting married right here in the state of New York, on the day that the drought of inequality should have ended, on the day that we should have removed one of the last barriers to full equality to all citizens in this state, we fight on. We don't give up. We don't get dismayed by the indifference, the dithering, the dishonesty, the betrayal, and the unfortunate situation that occurred yesterday in Albany. Now, one of the darkest days in the civil rights movement in this country was in 1857 in what is known as the Dred Scott case, when the Supreme Court of the United States validated slavery beyond its limitations. But when we look back in history, we probably don't even realize that that dark moment, that low point in the abolitionist movement, was only 5 years prior to the signing of the Declaration of Independence back in the middle of 1862. So, what does that date tell us? That the hardest times bring forth the greatest leadership. So everything we've done so far will be enhanced. We are raising our fight to a new level. We are pumping up the volume on justice here in New York. We will go back to Albany. We will go back to the districts of people who took contributions saying they were going to be for marriage equality and turned their back not only on the gay community, but the community of all people who believe in equal rights. We will go back to those who block voted and fell like a bunch of dominoes on an issue that's bigger than their political problems and is really the right thing to do. And we will send a message to everyone in this state that we will speak for those who don't have a voice, we will fight for those who don't have a license, and we'll make sure that every couple in this state that loves one another and wants to live together with a contract called marriage gets one, and gets one as soon as possible. In this moment of despair, when many of you probably feel pain and feel anger and feel frustration with government, I want to thank you for coming out here today. I want you to, from getting up this morning after the pain of what happened yesterday, and maybe a few cocktails you might have had out of annoyance, to come back out here today in the great numbers that you have, to keep fighting, to keep the pressure on, to keep the light flickering for justice in this state. Because we will have justice, we will have marriage equality, and we will have it right here in New York as soon as I get those people. And we're not waiting for 2011. There is no time that isn't a good time for justice. If I think the votes are there, I will call the legislature back next week. Thank you very much.